This video is brought to you by FFTCGsingles.co.uk.
Yes. I am Mr. Mark Collins. This is the Final Fantasy TCG Grimoire. Welcome. Today we're going to be looking at the contents of this folder. If you're a collector, this folder is what you're after, possibly, or the contents of it anyway. You might want to buy a better folder. I mean, it does the job, but I fancy something a bit more flashy with a zip for my pretties. So, without further ado, let's have a look at what's inside. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world. This is a video which is probably going to be more of interest to the collector than the player, but I think anyone with more than a passing interest in the Final Fantasy trading card game is going to enjoy it. Within we have practically a whole set of foils. There's a couple missing. I'll explain as we go along why that might be the case. They are all double-sleeved in KMC Perfect Fits and Hypermats, and they're behind a plastic sheet in the folder, so hopefully the foil shows up a little. You can see it there nicely on the Warrior of Light. These are a nice, this style is a nice set, I think, that possibly might be worth collecting a second one of each just to put on display. Same with these. They're not the most high power, they're very plain looking, but these little chibi fellas, these little super deformed guys from, can't read it, Final Fantasy 3 on the Nintendo DS, they might make a nice display as well, but that's something for the future, you know. We will burn that bridge when we come to it. Our first point of real interest here, here's Wave 2, Squall Wave 2, not slicing his own throat, Squall Wave 1. A couple of fours there, he's slicing his own throat. That apparently is why it was changed, whether that's a cultural thing from Japan, whether that's just, oh, that looks a bit gashed, doesn't it? I don't know. And we've also got a couple of four of the old versions as well, just because I had them hanging around. I thought, why not keep them in there? They are somewhat rare. Here's another one of those foils with the dark behind, but it's actually showing nicely. There's a Terror, so we see Terror on Warrior of Light in that style. Another Wave 1, Wave 2 thing here. Wave 2, return all forwards to their owner's hands, owners apostrophe S. The revamped version, Wave 2, of which I have two, but everything needs to move because I didn't realise I had two of these. Return all forwards to their owner's hands. No, tell a lie, I didn't have two of these until yesterday. I traded for this one at Fistful of Dice at the social event in Portsmouth. As you can see, there's a bit of a curl on that, so I'm hoping stuffing him in there, keeping him flat inside a nice tight binder is going to take the bend off that. And of course we have another play set of the old style there as well. Some more of the best type. Two more of the diagonal stripe ones. I think they would look aces high up on a wall. Possibly with a spotlight just highlighting their beauty. Wave 2 Riku Rare is missing there, simply because I was building a deck this morning and I realised I didn't have any Riku's spare. I had other ones in another deck, so I took the Wave 2 out of here rather than taking a Wave 1, just because I'm a bit of a pedant like that. Call me what you like, just please call me. So yes, this there is one here, it's just not there at the moment. This one, Wave 1 Black Belt 100C, is missing because that's on its way from eBay as we speak. It cost me £3.60, which I think is a bargain for a completist like myself. So the original one says choose one blocking forward. The revamped, the Wave 2 version says choose one blocking forward. Wave 2, choose one, oh good grief, Wave 2. Choose one blocking forward. Wave 1, choose one blocked forward. And again, any that I had left over I've saved here. Same for your golem. They've changed the word blocked to blocking. So here it's blocked, here it's blocking. And obviously another thing that came up at Fistful of Dice last night was you get a lot of golems. You do pull a lot of golems. You really do. So these are all wave 1 non-foils. Shantoto, nice. Preesh, nice. There have been a couple of occasions where that took a long time to get hold of the Lightning Legend foil there. There have been a couple of occasions where I've accidentally sold foils that I need for my collection. For instance, Tidus Legendary, I think I sold twice by accident now, so I'm keeping a better count of my inventory. I've revamped the way I do that. Here's another change, it's another throat slicer. Here's wave 1 and wave 2. Rams has moved over to the side there. Boom. There's the one that I keep selling by accident, but it's not going to happen now. He's in the folder unless I accidentally sell it, and then I'll have to take him out of the folder, but hopefully not. Minwoo, everyone likes Minwoo, good card. I don't like that artwork by what's his name? Her name, don't know. Yoshitaka Amano. I don't like the artwork. It's mushy. I don't know. It's not to my taste. Yuna, very, very nice foil. Probably tied for my favourite with another Yuna, the starter Yuna. Cloud, there's the one we're all chasing. Cloud Chasers, is that a book? Sounds like something your man who wrote the Notebook would write. Impossible to see foil on Cloud, even in optimal lighting and not in the sleeve. So here it's literally just not going to happen. Jill Nabat only just picked up her. She seemed very hard to get hold of. This was one of the first foils I got, and I was sort of blown away. I thought the artwork was really, really something to behold. And the foil, let's focus that, there we are. So Tetsuya Nomura's artwork was fantastic, and the foil was spectacular. It sort of set it off really nicely. Let me just refocus and change the brightness there, make sure we're getting at least a bit of light on there. What I do need is a decent lamp and a diffuser, but you know, there are cards to buy. And there we are. That's probably my favourite one, I think. I mean, it's just a screenshot from a cutscene, I'm told, but it just looks grand. So, what does it take? What does it cost to get this? Well, as a fair few of you will probably know, and from the bumper at the start of my YouTube videos, there exists something called FFTCG which is my way of buying cards, but not having to explain myself to Mrs. Collins as to why I spent so much money on paper and ink. So I think I bought 15 boxes so far. And as you saw, I hadn't quite got everything I was after. Now, obviously, a wave 1 black belt, it's not something you're going to readily come by nowadays. Whether that's passed through my hands before, I can't quite tell you, but I've only just got to this point. I was picking up the wave 1 Ramza last night from somebody at Fistful of Dice, can't remember who, sorry chaps. Yeah, so it's quite the undertaking. Obviously, all the foils I don't need will go on to FFTCGSingles.co.uk, so if you want to support the channel and so on, please have a look on there. We do, I say we again, I try to make sure the prices are market value or less, and where I think market value is bloody stupid, I will go quite a lot less. Some prices are taking advantage, I think. Somewhat. I mean, I know full well I've been taking advantage of it in terms of pricing in here at times. And in the back, non-Opus sort of promo-y stuff. We've got a couple of the Cloud promos. This one is the English one. I don't know if you can see. Let me just focus. So this was signed by Kanagawa and Yasuda, I think that I'm saying his name correctly, when I went to London for the tournament. That's a German one I just picked up on eBay that someone was not charging the world for, or the earth, I should say. Here's one where I was taking advantage of, but I don't care. £35 I think I paid for this. Unfortunately, I can't get to an OP, an organised play with prize support. Fistful of Dice is working on that right now. It's in the works, but I just can't make it. And by the time the works have been worked, I think we'll probably be onto the Lightning. So I thought I would pick up one on eBay. Why not? And here's a standard promo Sephiroth, which I got in London. And again, Kanagawa and Yasuda sign that for me. Very gracious they were too. I didn't actually realise who they were, and both of them at points during the day took my empty Coke cans from me to put them in a recycling bin, which was outstanding. Yes, so there we go. That's the lot. One thing I wanted to point out, when you, let's find 3 in a row which are really foily. When you fan them out, you'll see the, there we go. Right, there's an example of what I was about to talk about. You'll tend to find, well, let's get a handful more. You'll tend to find that the foil will seem to all go the same way usually. Right, okay, so we've got 2 that appears to be going one way there, and 3 going the other way. So there's an interesting thing. So I'd assume then, yes. So these 3, 4 going one way, these 3, 4 going another way. I wonder if I was to turn them upside down, would the foil? No. No. So I don't know what the process is by which they make these. Whether there's something, I'm sure someone who understands holograms and the refraction of light and so on could explain this to us. But I'm putting these all in the wrong order. But I do not know why that's happening. Why is the light bouncing in a different direction? 171. Good grief, I've put myself in such a mess here. 170. So there we have it. I think that provides quite a nice overview for the collector in you. This is what you are aiming for. If you're looking to get all the foils, I do know a lady called Lynn, who is on the Final Fantasy Trading Card Game Fans group, I believe, on Facebook, certainly one of them, purchased a goodly number of foils from me yesterday, and they got sent out today. So she's, I think, well on her way to a full collection. But now I look at it, this is utterly pointless, but it's something I'm going to covet and keep and pull out every so often and just leaf through and go, yeah, look what I've got, look what I own, look at this thing that validates me. And even after disparaging it like that, I still think it's brilliant. So bring on Opus 2. I hope to achieve the same for that. Obviously I shall be loaded to the gun whales with Opus 2 booster boxes as soon as I possibly can be, and therefore hopefully Final Fantasy TCG Singles.co.uk will also be loaded with Opus 2 cards as soon as possible as well. In the meantime, obviously we've got a load of Opus 1 on there, lots of foils, lots of legends, all the good stuff, all at great prices. Ta-ta for now. So I hope you've enjoyed that trip through Shiny Town. I've certainly enjoyed it. I hope you'll join me for an Opus 2 version of this at some point in the not so distant future. In the meantime, if you like the video, click like. If you want to see some more of my stuff, hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends, that sort of thing. In the meantime, ta-ta for now.